Alright, here is my workout video. I'll go over pretty much everything I do. The one thing that's going to be a little difficult is abs. I've always had trouble trying to get the right terminology for the workouts, so we'll see how that goes. But sorry, hopefully you guys can hear me over that noise outside. There's some internet issues and we trying to get it fixed. Monday, my workout, a chest and back. I lift heavy, 3x8. It's worked for me. I feel like it's the best way I've been able to grow, lifting heavy like that. And I'm not sure how much truth lies within that whole powerlifting thing where, you keep your reps really low. You're going to have big, strong muscles, but they're not going to look good. Obviously I'm not doing powerlifting lifts. I'm lifting, powerlifting would be like 3 to 5. I'm doing 8, so I'm not saying I'm powerlifting, but I've never really believed that. I've seen a lot of strong dudes that still have lean muscles, I think it all just comes from diet, obviously, but yeah, I have a lean appearance, and I've always stuck heavy. I've never done like high reps of 15 or anything really. I've always stuck it low and heavy and still maintain leanness, so I'm not sure exactly how much truth lies within that. But anyways, chest and back, I do 5 exercises for chest, 5 for back. This is the point where people think I'm overtraining, but I just think it's relative to your sleep and food. If you eat enough and you sleep enough, from my personal experience, you can work out as much as you want. But obviously those two things are very important. If you're not getting enough of one or the other, then that's when the problems can arise. But chest and back, 5 exercises each. I have 3 pretty main fundamental workouts for each that I've never changed. I've always done them. And then the last 2 for each, I view them more as like pretty high isolation or definition work more than anything. Even though I still maintain 3x8, I just view them more like finishing exercises. When I work out, I do chest, back, alternate. But I'll just go over them all at once for the sake of convenience, like all chest together. So I start off with flat bench. Obviously want to warm up. Recently I've been pyramiding that just for the sake of moving heavy weight and getting my muscle fibers used to that and breaking them down that way. The pyramid I do was at 8, 5, 3, 1. Increase the weight each time, obviously. I do that only for bench. I don't pyramid many other things. I've really grown to like my 3x8. It's worked really well. I feel really good during and after. My next chest is dumbbell incline, 3x8. Next chest is barbell decline. I'm not a fan of dumbbell decline. I've never felt it well. I never felt it anywhere. It's not like it took over in my shoulders and I only feel it in my shoulders. I just didn't feel it anywhere. It was really weird. But those are my 3 main fundamental lifts that I will always do. Will never change them. I haven't changed them. And then my next lift for chest is dumbbell pullover. You lay perpendicular on a bench, so you're on it like this. You have your shoulders just going across it, and the majority of your body and your hips are hanging off the bench. And you grab a dumbbell by the head like this. You get your palms against the head or the face of it, and you keep your arms outstretched like that. You keep your elbows locked. You don't want any bend in your arms at all. Then you're dropping the weight behind you, because you're laying on the bench, and it stretches out your chest. It stretches out your serratus really well. When you pull it back up, obviously you want to keep the lock in your elbows. You don't want to bend your arms at all. You're pulling it up. It's hitting your upper chest, your inner chest, and your serratus really well, at least when I do it. That's my 4th chest exercise. That one I highly recommend. I've seen really good results in myself from that, especially serratus and being tall and skinny. Upper chest was always an issue for me, and it's helped me maintain a lot of fullness up there. Last exercise is flies, like most people. Sometimes I let myself do 3x10 with flies. Just because I'm so tired and, surging with lactic acid, it can hurt really hard to push heavy weight and fly. Sometimes I just gotta go a little lighter. But those are my chest exercises, and they're really not much of a secret besides, I just hit chest hard. And then with back, I start off with heavy bent over rows, just basic barbell, like a bench barbell, throw the weight on it and do bent over rows. Those are one of my favorites when you can get your grip right and the mental focus right to where, you're hitting your back and you're not just tugging with your arms. That's one of my favorites. After that, I'll go to, I guess you'd call it lateral cable row. It's on one of the big cable machines. You put your feet up in front of you, and you grab, I do close grip. You grab a little close grip guy, and use your back, you pull it into your gut. I do that next, and after that, I will do machine pull downs, if that's the right term. It's the same thing on the cable machine. You get your wide grip bar and you pull it down. There's different ways to do that, depending on how you position your torso and where you grip your hands. It hits your back somewhat differently each way. It's all personal preference. Sometimes it depends. If you have long, lanky arms like me, that can make a difference, whatever. That's my third back exercise, and those are the three I consider very fundamental. I don't have a nice T-bar machine, T-bar rowing, rig at my gym. And when I just try to do the manual T-bar rows, like backing into a corner, I don't get a good range of motion before I end up just smacking myself in the chest with the weight, The range of motion I get doesn't seem worth it. But those are my three fundamental lifts. And then my fourth, I've been messing around with face pulls. I don't know how to explain them well since I've barely learned how to feel them and do them properly. If you YouTube face pulls, you can check them out. And then I'll finish with some lightweight pull-ups. Lightweight pull-ups, just bodyweight pull-ups, no added weight. Whatever reps I can do. I make sure I do at least 3x8. Usually I can get more, but I just burn off with that in the same sense. You usually kind of just burn chest with flies. I kind of just burn off back with pull-ups. That's the way I view it. Those are those workouts. I used to do traps on back day, but ever since I've been going pretty heavy with shoulders and getting really big pumps in my traps, I figured I'll just do them on shoulder day. Next workout is arms. Same thing. I have some fundamental lifts that I do first while I have the most energy. And again, like chest and back, I'll alternate bicep, tricep. But for the sake of your convenience, I'll list them all separately. I start off biceps, very heavy barbell curl, just standard, most people do. I do a straight barbell. I don't like the bent ones. They hit my forearm more than anything. I almost barely feel it in my bicep at all. But straight bar, very heavy, to the point where I'll never do 3 sets of 8. I'm always 8-7-7, or even like a 7-7-6. It's so heavy, I just want to go kind of almost too heavy. I never sacrifice form, but just as heavy as you can in the beginning for the sake of breaking down the muscles while you have the energy to do it, and just getting them used to moving heavy weight, because that's always important in my eyes. But next bicep, I don't know the machine, if it's a hammer strength or Nautilus or whatever. I do some machine curl where I'm curling on the machine like 170 pounds, which of course does not reflect the real amount of weight I'd be curling. But I don't do it for the numbers, I do it for the resistance I feel. And on this particular machine, I feel the resistance really well, and I enjoy doing it second while I still have energy, because I move a lot of weight on it. Like I said, it's not an accurate representation of curling, but it's still a lot of resistance, and I do that more by feel than by numbers. After that, I try to do a dumbbell exercise. Lately I've been doing hammer curls. I do them sitting down, just to try to prevent any form of swinging towards the end of my reps, or the ends of my set, try to keep them as strict as possible. Everything is 3x8, like I said. Then I'll finish. Sometimes my finishing curls will be 3x10, this next exercise, and it varies a lot. It's just however I feel like I want to finish off my bicep. Sometimes I'll do really wide grip barbell curls to try to hit the inner peak really well of the bicep. Sometimes I'll do spider curls. Sometimes I'll just do preacher curls. And And most of the time for this last one I will do a 3x10 with a little bit lighter weight just to finish off with a good burn. And then the tricep side of the workout, start off with close grip bench, which can be a real bitch, especially when you're going heavy. It takes a lot of time to do it properly, both to not hurt your wrists and also to feel it actually in your triceps. It's very easy to move the weight but not really feel it that well. I do that, and then my next is skull crushers. Except I've been told I don't do skull crushers, I do lying tricep extensions, because skull crushers, you bring them to your face or your forehead too and stuff. And what I do, I bring them behind my head and back up, so it's a little bit different apparently. After that, I will do, what do? I do machine tricep pushdowns or pull downs, you know. You grab a straight bar on the cable machine, you just do push downs, you know. But you know, you want to make sure you do those right, make sure your chest isn't taking over. And the key to doing it right is keeping your elbow in the same spot. Don't let your elbow hinge up and move around. Keep your elbows in the same spot, you know, look in the mirror, and almost guarantee you just feel it in your tricep. But and then I'll finish off the same mentality as, you know, just whatever I feel like doing to finish off with a good burn. Sometimes I'll do same machine, but I'll switch the grips to a rope pull down and just focus on getting a really good squeeze at the end with the ropes. Sometimes I'll do I'll finish off with high reps of dips. It just depends how I feel that day, how I want to finish off with a burn. But like I said, compared to chest and back, I still have my fundamental lifts that I always do, that I always hit really hard, and then I kind of finish and burn off with whatever sounds good that day. And then I finish with forearms, basic. Okay, you can't keep doing that, man. Here, chew on this. Finish with forearms, very basic, just inner forearm curl, outer forearm curl, I'm done. Brings us to shoulders and legs. Unlike my other workouts, I actually do all my shoulders at once and then all my legs at once, because if I were to, you know, integrate them together, the rest periods I take with my legs would throw off my shoulder workouts, you know. So I just do them all together. I start off, I do shoulders first, because if I were to hit legs really hard, I'd have no energy for shoulders at all. Standing overhead press, 3x8, and then I will go straight into dumbbell lateral raises, you know, side raises. I do those sitting down to prevent myself from swinging. 3x8, sometimes with shoulders, like these exercises, I'll do a 3x10. It's really easy to injure a shoulder when you're going heavy like that. If I'm feeling really good, I'll go heavy and do 3x8, but if I don't feel too well, I don't want to hurt myself, so I'll drop the weight and just do 3x10. Right after the side raises, I'll do forward raises. I don't do dumbbells, I actually do a barbell forward raise. Dumbbells had seemed to cramp up my forearms a lot, and when I use the barbell, I don't have that problem. You know, 3x10, same issue sometimes, you know, 3x8, 3x10. After that, I'll do dumbbell shoulder press, you know, seating obviously. With this, I do, in comparison to the weight I did overhead press with, I go much lighter, and I try to utilize dumbbells as well as I can, in the sense that I do a very deep range of motion with these, and go back up, you know, much deeper than I could do with an overhead press, and that's why I do that. I don't go too heavy with them compared to my overhead press. And then after that, I'll finish off with rear shoulders. Like most people know, aside from doing some type of dumbbell fly with them, really the only way to hit them on a machine is the chest fly machine, where you sit in it reverse and you lock your arms out and you do it backwards and hit your rear shoulders. Do that. It takes a lot of mental focus to keep your shoulders in control the whole time and really let your shoulders do a lot of the work as opposed to your back. But when you can do it well, that obviously blows your shoulders up huge. And like I said, I now do shrugs on shoulders on shoulder days, so right after that I'll go into some shrugs. I only do one exercise for shrugs. I don't do like 2 or 3. Just heavy barbell shrugs. What I've found helps a lot is allowing to get the stretch, when you're holding it, let them stretch down really far and then come back up, obviously, and then get a really deep stretch with them and come back up. 3x8 with those really heavy shrugs. And that's all I do. I don't do anything else after that. They take pretty good beating for my shoulder workouts. So I just leave it at that. And then with legs, they've been changing quite a bit because I had a hamstring injury in February and kind of tweaked my lower back recently. But my ideal healthy leg workout is pretty basic. Obviously warm up, do squats, 3x8. Sometimes I'll pyramid squats if I feel like it. I had no schedule for squat pyramiding, just if I felt like it I'd do it, and if not, I wouldn't do it. Right after squats I'll go into deadlifts, 3x8. Sometimes I pyramid that, but same thing. There was really no set schedule for pyramid progression. It was just if I felt like pyramiding, I'd pyramid. Right after I do those fundamental lifts, I don't do leg press anymore. I used to do that when I was running track, but I just kill squats, kill deadlifts, and then go into leg extensions, 3x8. Sometimes I'll do 3x10 for those, and then hamstring curls, 3x8, sometimes 3x10, and then calf raises. I'd stand on the Smith machine. I'd stand on something elevated so I can get a deep stretch in my calves, and do calf raises that way. I felt it the best as opposed to the seated calf raises. That's it. It's really basic, not too extensive leg workout, but I killed squats and deadlifts and took my sweet resting time. And then after that, leg days I focus on lower abs more so. A lot of leg raises, a lot of things like that. Like I said, I really feel bad. I don't know how to explain the ab workouts I did because a lot of them were kind of thrown together, kind of half created by me. But on leg days I did a lot of leg lifts for lower abs. Just to decompress my back from all the squatting and deadlifting. But on my other days, chest and back and arms, I did more conventional ab work, that hit the upper abs or whatever. The machine kind of pull downs where you get the bar behind your head and you do crunches down. I did that, and a lot of people do them properly. You gotta make sure, a lot of people, they do this with their back. There's really no movement. They're only like moving their lower back, You have to make sure you're letting yourself get a full stretch and then a contraction on the way down. A lot of people just simply move and they're not really doing anything. But I wish I could get into more detail with the abs. I really don't know how to explain it, but fucking just do a lot of abs. But what I can say though, I never did high reps ever. I do multiple ab exercises a day, and each one is like 3 sets of 12 to 15. Very high quality. I focused really hard on like flexing and getting a contraction at the end of the ab movement and really squeezing them together, and then on the way down getting a full stretch in the abs and repeating. I've always felt quality with abs was much more important than busting out high reps, because if you combine squats and deadlifts with proper diet, you're going to already have abs alone. And then if you just do some really high quality contraction ab workouts afterwards, then your abs are just going to get really, really ripped. There's really, in my eyes, no need for a bunch of high rep curls crunches. I just do some really quality squeezing workouts. And a lot of them, like I said, are just kind of like, what can I do to hit the sides of my abs, make them pop off more, things like that. I really don't know the terms for them at all. But I hope that helps. I'm sure I'm forgetting stuff that people wanted me to answer. But obviously, if you have any more questions, ask and I'll answer. I hope that was good enough. And the main reason that my workouts are so long is I let myself rest. Not too much by any means, but I'll rest like a minute, 20 seconds between some of my stuff, depending how burnt out I am. And sometimes I'll finish a lot with burn off reps where I'll just drop the weight dramatically and just finish off just burning it, you know? And that adds up over time. And then with the long ab workout at the end, that's the main reason my workouts are so long. A lot of people consider it overtraining, but I mean, if you eat and sleep enough, that's really where the results lie. Cool. Like I said, probably forgetting a shit ton of stuff, but you know, if you have any questions, ask and I will answer.